watching the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. Click on the subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 11 of the N1 from the End Zone podcast. Introducing to you my partner in crime, Alex PH. If you guys are interested in buying property in the state of California, please reach out to my little brother. He'll be happy to answer all your real estate questions. So yeah, bro, how you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, nothing different. It's rainy, cold, chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. It's a stormy. It's been a stormy couple days here in Cali. So yeah, bro, I didn't have you on earlier this week to talk about the games. But let's just talk about the 49ers comeback, bro. How you feeling? How was it? You got the text messages. I told you they were going to go down 14-0 and Brock was going to have the game of his career early on. Because I'm just so hyped. You got the receipts. Anyway, what were your thoughts?
It was definitely, interesting. I stopped watching, not gonna lie to you.
Bang, bang, bang.
They went down big, and then after I saw them come back, I, put my phone out and I was like, okay, let me pay attention. So, it was a good game, very good game. Kept me on my toes. I almost had a heart attack, but it was good. Brock played good when it mattered. So I hope that doesn't happen to the, Chiefs, because
I think I'll be real with you, and we're gonna preview the game next week, or we're gonna talk about that and break that entire thing down. But I think our defense is due for a good performance in
please,
the first, and they're due. Like, yes, there was so much adversity surrounding Brock, and Brock has shown that he can do it. Now, like, the Super Bowl needs to be the best game the team plays in the fucking playoffs.
period.
And I honestly think like they are due. They are due to have a 49er game. And to be
I hope
honest,
so, especially with the run. Like, you got to stop the run first. But like, they're due. You're right.
No, and also one of the things that I've also been subscribing to is once you get through emotional stuff and like get so hot, like I understand we've gone through a couple of emotional victories. I think the Chiefs are gonna be like what the Buffalo Bills and the Ravens were, where like their hotness has to run out at some point. They've been hot for like 6 to 7 weeks. That hotness like eventually runs out, and we haven't been hot, but we've still been finding ways to win the games. So I think we can finally harness our hotness. I'm praying. I'm hoping. I want a Super Bowl. We need a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, we do need it bad, to be honest.
And I honestly think Brock's the guy. Oh, you heard Jed York's comments? They're like, "Hey, man, what were your thoughts on that?"
I don't know. Like, I saw the interview where like he's like, where Kyle went up to him and told him like, "Hey, man, like I think our seventh pick in the draft might be the best quarterback." I was like, damn,
might be the best quarterback.
that's kind of crazy. But like from his standpoint, and like, I think he used to be like a GM that was very involved, and I think he realized that he needed to step back. So I'm happy that he took like a step back and let
Jed York.
Yeah,
Jed York was never a GM.
Or not GM, sorry, but owner. But he was a very involved owner, And like I think he even had problems with what's his name? Jim Harbaugh, right?
Oh yeah, there was a whole
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just Jim Harbaugh, it was Tread Baalke. Like I believe the Jim Harbaugh Jed York relationship got strained because Jed was closer to Trent Baalke than he was to Jim. And that was the biggest mistake
But that's what I'm saying. Like I think we've seen a lot of growth from him, and I think it's a good it's a good thing, because now he's letting, Lynch and Kyle run the team and do things. And like we have a really well-built team, a good quarterback, and it's all because
he can compete for years,
dedicated to winning. Yeah.
And a quarterback that is still developing.
Yeah, yeah. So I think
I'm
happy. Yeah.
Another thing that I also subscribe to is Mahomes didn't start reading defenses until I think year 3 or 4 in the league.
Yeah, if you look like his rookie season, like he played a couple games, and he didn't look great, and like he's a rookie, right? So it makes sense. But like when you compare it to Brock, it's
Mahomes had a killer rookie season. That was his MVP year.
No. I mean, like when he was first in the league, like his first few games, like he
Yeah,
didn't look good at all, you know.
it was.
But yeah, that's my point. But like Brock, it's impressive to see from Brock, you know. But I
Yeah,
don't
no, and like
think
if you
he's
really think about it, Mahomes in his first two in the first two seasons that he started or whatever, he had at least 32 games plus the playoffs, which is about like 35 to 40 games. Brock is still in game number 26, going into game number 27. Still hasn't seen everything in the league like Michael Parsons. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
uh, yeah, still hasn't seen everything in the league like Micah. And he's still learning, he's still developing. And the nice thing is we have 2 years of flexible cap space with Brock. We could afford to go all in again next year if we don't win it this year. But I think we're gonna win it this year. I have a really strong feeling that this is our
I
year.
hope so, because that, I have a bad memory from the last Chiefs game. So, in the Super Bowl. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to
Hey,
win.
Brock,
As the
hey, has Brock made you a real believer? Do you believe in
after that game against the what's it call it?
the Lions?
Lions. Yeah, I have to. I kind of have to believe in the guy.
You have to now, right?
But
Hey, you're a
man,
Niner fan. You're a
hey,
Niner fan. You
but
you
but but
you were
hey, he
holding
has to he
out.
has to prove it still on the biggest stage possible.
You were holding
The
out. That's
Super
one of the
Bowl.
things I love the most. You were one of the people that was holding out on my guy Brock. You're like, hey, he's good, but he's not special. And then when he
He's
needed to,
not. He's don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's special
hey, is
because my
good.
opinion of special is different, but he's
Hey,
very good.
what
He's
do
very
special
good.
people do when it matters the most?
Win, but he's not special. He's just very good.
Hey, what did I even tell you last week? Jared Goff should not be put in the same sentence as Brock Purdy.
But
Had a
Goff, good
20
game. But
had
Jared
a
Goff, good game.
24-7 lead, and what happened? Blew that bitch.
I kind of I okay. Really
Could
thinking
only
about
put up
no, no,
three.
no, no. Really thinking about the game now, I feel like Lions could have won it, but like you gotta like applaud them because they stuck to their culture and what brought them to that game. Like they had a couple possessions where they could have tied the game, where they could have taken the lead on those fourth downs. Like they could have kicked the field goal. Game would have been tied at the end of the game, right? So like, it could have gone either way.
They
But
could have
like,
had a couple. They could have caught the ball. All I'm saying is
yeah,
when it
yeah.
mattered the most for Jared Goff to be clutch, when it mattered the most to get some yards with his
No,
legs, to
I
get
don't blame
to
Jared
get
Goff because he made some good throws. I blame Reynolds who dropped two balls for him.
well,
So
but that's the thing. If we're gonna say like that's why I gotta give Brock his like I gotta say Brock is
but
special.
but if
Brock
Brock would
was
have held it a
down
pass,
24-7.
yeah,
If
but
that
if
was
Brock threw
Jimmy
a
G,
pass to someone and
that
they
wouldn't
dropped it,
happen
that's
in the
not Brock's
playoffs.
fault.
What happened?
If Brock were to throw a pass to someone and they dropped it, that's not Brock's fault. Like on that pass to Stephon Diggs from Josh Allen or from
No,
Josh
but what
Allen to
I'm
Stephon
saying
Diggs and
is
he dropped
when
it,
it
it's not
mattered the
Brock's fault.
most, and when it came down to crunch time, yeah, you could be a front runner all you want, but when it came down to the crunch time, and Jared Goff needed to be special, needed to be the first round, first overall pick in the draft, he choked against Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, okay. I mean, I like again, I don't think
There's a
he's
reason why he's in
special.
Detroit. Sorry.
Yeah, but look, I don't think he's special. I think he's very good. So like for example, like when
I
Cam
think
Newton,
he the way he processes the game is special. And one of the things that
sure,
one of the things
sure.
that I hate is the fact that like they're like, oh, they'll go through all of his throws from the game and they're like, oh, he only has like 4 or 5 good or special throws. And I'm like, quarterbacks are only supposed to have to make only like like 2 or 3, maybe 4 special throws in a game when it matters the most. They're not supposed to have like phenomenal throws every single fucking time. And
Yeah.
Brock is consistently doing that.
Yeah, and like I think the thing that like I'm not gonna say bothers me, but
Can
it
I
does.
just
Mm,
can we admit one thing?
yeah.
Brock has actually elevated the offensive talent around him, and that's something Jimmy was never really able to do because we had Ayuk for years, and granted, Ayuk now like he's like
He's better. He's not the same player. Yeah.
No. But the reason why I don't think he was able to develop, maybe the first year or two, he was still trying to understand and learn the playbook. But year three, with with Jimmy on the team, he never had the quarterback talent or the arm to be able to elevate the guys around him and the processing ability that Brock has. That's why everybody on the team is like, because one of the things that I would say about Brock was Brock elevates the threes, he elevates the twos. He you could say the ones elevate him, but he also elevates the ones. The ones look the way that
No, I
they
think
look
I think
because we've
I don't.
had this offensive talent for a long time,
Yeah,
bro,
but I
and
don't
they're
know if he.
aging. They're
I don't
aging.
know. I don't really know if he elevates the ones because, like, okay, like Cam Newton. Let's go
If
to
he
Cam.
can elevate
No,
the
no, no, look,
threes
look.
and he can elevate the twos,
No. Let's go to Cam. Look, let's go to Cam. Cam Newton said that he's the
Trey
10th
could.
best player on the team, right? And I disagree with that. He's not the 10th best player on the team. He is probably like number 2 or 3. I'll give him 3.
I'll give it
I'll put him
at
I'll
the
put him
worst. He's the
over.
fifth. At the
Yeah,
worst,
at
he's the
worst he's
fifth.
the 5th, right? Because I'll put CMC and Trent over him for sure. And then, you could say like George, Debo, maybe BA on offense, right? But, so that's like where I kind of
No,
disagree with your
well,
comments
I'm
with
gonna
Cam.
go overall team. I'd go Trent. I no, I'd go CMC. I'd go Trent. I'd go Nicky,
I go Fred.
and then I'd go Brock.
Yeah. Okay, so overall team 5th. On offense, I'll give
Because I'll be real, because you have to admit he elevates Ayuk and Debo because both of them have been Pro Bowl talent, but never at the same time together.
yeah.
This year, both of them together were Pro Bowl. Like, I know they weren't selected for the Pro Bowl or All Pros, but they look like Pro Bowl elite talent with Brock. And like together, they've never been
But
like.
I don't think he really elevates the team. I think the team kind of just feeds off of him, his confidence and his poise, and that kind of, lets them be the top offensive team when it comes to like production and points and whatnot, right? So I don't know if he's really a game manager. I just feel like
He's a game changer.
he's just a
No,
great
he's not a
mailman.
game
You know?
manager. He's a game changer because he'll literally like he's he's good enough to be able to change the outcome of the games. Maybe it's not by throwing the ball, but his processing ability. Now that we've seen him be able to get out of the pocket and run, like that ability when it matters the most, and this is why I said when it matters the most in the regular season, he was developing. In the playoffs, those like we in the playoffs, some of that pocket movement that he's doing in the regular season, he would have just tried to throw the ball and try to get a completion. But because he doesn't want to put the ball at risk, now he's moving out of the pocket. He's ascending
I,
to a
I
different level.
like I like I like Brock when he moves out of the pocket. I think he's
I
better when he
didn't
moves
think,
out of the pocket.
dude, I didn't think he had that in him. And bro, he's actually, bro needs to slide. Dog needs
No,
to
he
slide.
needs to definitely slide, but I love it when he runs because he's a lot faster than a lot of people think, which is pretty cool. I mean, to see. So,
He's more. He's like they want to like they compare him to Joe Montana, Andrew Brees. Trajectory wise, if you look back at Joe's early career, if you go back and look at that Peacock documentary of the 49ers and Joe Montana, uh, Brock has like really surpassed Joe in his early, like in the early stages of his career. Joe wasn't Joe until I think year 4 or 5. Maybe it was year 3. Brock not there. Like Brock has surpassed that. If you go back and look at Drew Brees, he's more athletic than Drew Brees. That's something we never really saw Drew Brees being able to do. He was very dead accurate, very dead on, but he was a pocket quarterback. He wouldn't really
mhm,
escape the pocket and run. Yeah, he had some great runs, but he didn't have the speed that Brock has.
yeah,
Um,
that's true.
and that's one of the killer things of like of Brock's game, and especially in today's NFL.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, let's move on to Cam, bro. Like, why do you think he's still hating on Brock? Because, like, if you really look back at it, he was never like the best player on his team. Like, he was like the second best. Like, on the offensive side, like CMC was better. CMC was better. Luke
But
Kuechly was
CMC, okay,
better.
CMC didn't never had a year like the year he's had with the Niners.
Yeah, because
Carolina.
but CMC has always been better than Cam.
I
Oh,
think,
let's also not forget that Cam Newton got benched for Brock's backup last year or a couple years ago, like in
but
Cam's
like I
last
think,
year.
okay, I think Cam, when he was in his prime, Cam was a game changer without a doubt. He's not a game manager. Cam is probably, envious that Brock is in the league and he's starting and he's playing really well and he's not in the league when he believes he can, but he can't. He's not the same player. Like he's not as athletic. He can't process as well as before, even though before I don't really think he could process that well anyways. But he's just not the same type of player. Like, but when Cam was in his prime, I'm talking about prime, 16 and 0, whatever, Panthers, going to the championship, whatever it was, right? Like Cam was a game changer without a doubt. The stuff he could do with his legs, get out of the pocket, throw the ball deep, throw the ball wherever you needed it to be. Like that's game changers type of stuff. But like I don't think, um that he should be in the league now. And I think that's why he's mad, maybe he's envious, he has a hot take on Brock. Maybe he's just mad that, he's still playing, that Brock is still playing and he's a mystery relevant. So like that's why I think Cam is hating.
I just don't get it, bro. Like honestly, like give the man his respect. He's done like yeah, you got your team to the Super Bowl, but it was after how many years that he had been in the league? When did he get drafted? When did Cam Newton get drafted?
20 something, I think
And
2012,
he's only 34. And this is also like I hate to say it, this is one of the things that kind of worries me about Lamar.
2011. Yeah.
Um like is Lamar going to be able to sustain the way that he plays, or is he going to be able to be a pocket quarterback like Mahomes, who with the ability to run by
No,
the time he's 30?
I don't
Because
think so.
he's not going to last that long.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Lamar could be better. I think he has to just prove that he can make the right decision, like in terms of okay, knowing when it's the right time to run, knowing when it's the right time to pass. I think in that game against the Chiefs, he got stuck in okay, passing mode. Like I'm gonna just show these guys that I could pass the ball. And then like he just couldn't do it. Like he just messed up a lot. He threw a pick. That pick he threw at the end, terrible decision. It was triple coverage. Terrible decision. You know? So I think he's gotta just know and like when's the right time to run, when's the right time to pass.
I didn't understand what the fuck they were doing, and I didn't understand what Lamar and the Ravens were doing in that game.
Yeah, they should have ran the ball more. I don't they only ran what 6 times? Like, bro, run the ball.
I'm like, bro, you're not like, dude, you're not Mahomes. Like, you
Yeah.
won two MVPs almost unanimously because like of the way that you play. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I
But
don't know, dude. Like, I thought that was a choke job. Um, and
definitely.
I'm looking at the Carolina Panthers roster in 2015 when they made the Super Bowl. Yeah, Cam was probably the best player on that team. Um, unless you want to consider Greg Olson, who was 30 at the time.
No. Cam was definitely the best player on the team.
Yeah, at 26.
Yeah.
But if you really look,
But
if
that's
you
why that's what I'm saying. Look, he was a game changer in his prime when he was
oh,
in his
Shaq Thompson
prime.
actually was on the team too. Rookie
In
Shaq.
his prime, Cam was a game changer. Not anymore. He's not the same player. He's not there athletically. He was never a great passer, like a precise,
He
accurate
had a
passer.
great 3 to 4 year run with the defensive minded. So actually, this is also another thing. I think mobile quarterback, and this is why Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh work well together because John isn't necessarily a offensive minded head coach. He's a special teams slash defensive, I believe defensive slash culture build. Or actually no, special team slash culture building head coach. Um, but if you really think about it, name the last pocket quarterback that worked with a defensive minded head coach. Ron Rivera worked with Cam Newton and got to the Super Bowl.
Mike Vrabel with Ryan Tannehill.
Mike Vrabel's a defensive minded head coach.
Yeah, didn't you say defensive minded head coach?
Oh, but who did they rely on? Derrick Henry.
That's true, but they still had Ryan Tannehill
They had
and
Ryan
AJ
Tannehill.
Brown
They did have. I'll give you that. They had Ryan
and
Tannehill
AJ Brown.
and AJ Brown. But who did they rely on the most? It was
Derrick Henry.
definitely on Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like a defensive
I
minded
mean,
head
Brady
coach.
Brady had Belichick. That one's obvious, though.
Yeah, but Brady's the GOAT, bro. You can't.
Yeah, that one's obvious. That's why I said that one's obvious.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's a lot more. I'm just not, that
there's
smart.
probably definitely a lot more. But what I'm trying to say is like usually a defensive minded head coach, unless the quarterback is extreme.
Tomlin. I would say Tomlin's a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, but you got to also remember, early Big Ben
Ben,
was mobile. Early Big
but
Ben.
still, Big
Early
Ben.
Big Ben was mobile.
No,
Early
no,
Big Ben was.
Early Big Ben was not that mobile. What are you talking
They
about?
they they viewed him as a Josh Allen.
Bro, Big Ben is like 6'8", 280 pounds.
That was
He's
later on in his
slinging that
career.
ball.
I'm talking about when you were still in Pampers, bro.
Okay, then yeah, probably I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dog.
You're not that much older than me. What the hell? You was
Yeah, but
probably
I
in
still
in,
saw.
in, in
I
booties
still.
too.
My first Super Bowl, I believe, was the Steelers Cardinals.
Stop it. No, stop it. You were born
Bro,
in 98.
bro, that you realize that was like in 2006, 2007.
You're not gonna remember that.
I do remember that because I was watching it at my dad's house in his living room when he had the fucking big ass TV. I
Fox TV?
remember it.
That's crazy, man.
I remember it. You were there too, bro. You were there too. Like
Probably
you
was.
were there too. We were wrestling, but you weren't really paying attention. Like we were like,
I was probably watching WWE.
yeah, we were doing, yeah,
Prime time.
we were
Prime
doing our
time.
thing. Prime time, prime time. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, like I'll give Cam like that 1 year that he made the Super Bowl was good. But what happened to him after that? Like he got injured, injury prone, and this is also another thing Lamar Jackson needs to be careful. He's been in like this year he hasn't gotten injured, and thank God. But his career has been plagued by injuries. Let's not
Yeah.
act like this has been an outlier year for him. Who's to say next year he might not get injured again?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good I think this year he didn't get injured because he wasn't running as much as prior years. He was throwing the ball. So if he does that throughout, next season and the seasons to come, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
I
mean,
agree.
I think next year though the AFC is gonna have a little bit of competition in terms of who's gonna be the best quarterback because now you got Justin Herbert with Harbaugh, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be a breakout year.
And actually, let's take a brief pause here. And then let's actually dive into the Jim Harbaugh and Chargers. And I want to actually talk about some of the interviews that he's had this week because uh bro, honestly, like the more I've heard him interview this week on like McAfee and on the herd, the more it made me think, man, the Raiders really messed up and didn't get the right head coach. Because, bro, the way Jim Harbaugh talks about
No, I
Al Davis and the
no,
Raiders,
dude.
bro.
I feel like
Hold
they
on,
did
hold on.
not mess up.
We'll talk about this right now. We'll talk about this right now. Hold up. We got you. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on N1 from the End Zone with my little brother Alex BH here. So yeah, bro, let's talk about Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. What are your thoughts? First week hired,
Dude, I mean,
got back.
I love it. I think it's phenomenal. You hate it because
No,
you
it's
think,
great for the Chargers.
but no,
happy
it's great
for
for
the
the
Chargers.
Chargers. But you think he should have gone to the Raiders.
I think the Raiders fucked up.
Look, I think the Raiders didn't mess up, and here's why. The players fell in love with the head coach that's there right now.
And you don't think they
If
would
they
have
had hired
Jim Harbaugh?
Harbaugh, Josh Jacobs probably is gone. Like he's probably going to resign just because of the fact that they got him. Just saying. Just saying.
So
Tay, Tay,
are you telling me that
Devontae Adams traded, gone. Asking for a trade, he's gone. Guarantee you. And on top
why?
of that, why does Jim
Why?
Harbaugh want to go to the
Jim
Raiders?
Harbaugh's a
There's
proven head
no
coach.
quarterback there.
Jim Harbaugh's well, that's also another reason why he chose the Chargers because
Exactly. So why would he want
there
to
have
go to
been
the Raiders?
reports that he had
Raiders are
been.
trash. They moved out of the Bay. deservingly so, because they're ass, and now they're in Vegas. Okay,
And guess who's playing in their stadium?
the Niners. Okay,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. But my dream as a Bay Area sports fan has always
No,
been to watch the Niners versus the Raiders in a Super Bowl,
I
and the
love
Niners
that. I
thrashing
love that
the
idea.
Raiders like 50-0. That's 49-0 because we're 49ers. 49-0 would be cool in the Super
I mean,
Bowl.
I love that idea of Oakland and like San Francisco, Battle of the Bay, whatever, I love
Super
that.
Bowl. That would be cool.
That was
But
cool.
this is
People were was really dying,
but
getting
this is the thing. Like once like the reason why like yeah Jim Harbaugh because like also Jim Harbaugh great interview like Jim Harbaugh is either the best interviewer or the worst interviewer depending on your perspective because dude he'll start to talk. Have you watched his interviews?
I saw part of the interview. I didn't see the whole thing. But
Because
look,
dude like they'll ask him a question and then like he'll think about the answer and it's like when he starts to think about it he forgets what the question is and then he'll give you an answer that's kind of like a non-answer and then it'll dive into some other thing and I'm just like okay let's do this and it's just like you either love it or you hate it but I kind of like I'm just intrigued by like how he presents himself. Dude,
he
I
goes
love
like
his
on a little
quirkiness.
tangent.
Dude, I love his quirkiness. That motherfucker, and that's one of the things that I think would have been cool for the Raiders. Like Jim,
Oh,
dude,
screw the
Jim
I think you're a
Harbaugh
Raiders
became,
fan. I think you're a Raiders fan right now. What is wrong
bro.
with you? Screw the Raiders.
Well, bro, like
Screw the Raiders.
bro, again, they're gonna be the worst. Like, what did I say? Three terrific head coaches in Antonio Pierce. Three magnificent
Raiders
head
are not going to be
coaches,
good. That conference is
bro.
stacked.
If you really think about it, it's three elite head coaching quarterback combos, and then there's 50 tons of shit, Antonio Pierce, and the Raiders with Aiden.
Antonio Pierce is not that bad.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're horrible.
We're gonna see. We're gonna
They're
see. We're
horrible.
gonna see.
Bro,
But Raiders are
they're
still ass.
horrible.
Bottom line, don't
Cliff
care
Kingsbury didn't even want to be his head coach, his offensive coordinator.
because he's ass.
Yeah, I'm not going to dispute. What? He
He
got Kyler
deserves to
Murray
be
to the
in
playoffs.
college. He deserves to be in college. He never should have been hired
Why
as a
did
head
hold
coach
on?
for the
This is
Cardinals.
also another thing. Why not hire Eric Bieniemy to be your offensive coordinator?
That I wouldn't disagree with.
Like what are we doing?
But
Eric
he should go to the
Bieniemy,
Chargers.
and this is no, but this is the thing about Bieniemy, bro. Like Eric Bieniemy, he comes from the Chiefs. He comes from the Kansas City Chiefs culture. He
And
knows
that's
their
why.
he knows their offense. That would be great when you're trying to scheme up a defense for the Chiefs. Does that make sense? You
But
know
that's why I
the
think he
tendency
should go
to
to the
look like.
Chargers because Justin Herbert is comparable to Patrick Mahomes, kind of.
And actually, there is a good possibility that he does end up going to the Chargers, considering that Jim Harbaugh isn't necessarily an offensive. He's a culture building head coach, just like his brother. When he was with the Niners, he was definitely more offensive minded and more in charge of play calling, I believe. But
Yeah.
since then, this is also one of the things that I admire about him. He's pivoted the way that he coaches. He lets the elite talent or the elite coaching staff around him do their jobs, coach the team, call the plays, do their jobs effectively, and he just does all the back end. He gives them their opinion, and he'll have certain final say in certain plays and certain things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and no, and like honestly, bro, like if you're trying to build a championship culture, considering that Al Davis himself said, I thought we brought you here to be a head coach when Jim Harbaugh was in the building for the Oakland Raiders. Why not ever actually hire him? You had an opportunity to bring him on after
No,
the Niners
bro.
let him
You
go.
can't.
You didn't
Look.
do that. Now,
Al Davis would have lost
so can I
everyone.
ask you a
He would have
question?
lost the players,
Would
everyone.
Jim Harbaugh have been a better pairing for Derek Carr than whoever the fuck they got? I think it was Hugh Jackman and then Jack Del Rio. Would Jim Harbaugh would have been better for Derek Carr's career at that point? Because I
I
think
think so. I think so for sure.
Derek Carr would still be an Oakland Raider or a Las Vegas Raider today. Maybe, bro.
If it wasn't,
Jim
if it
Harbaugh had
wasn't for
ended up,
McDonald or whatever his name was,
bro.
I
If
forgot.
Jim
Yeah,
Harbaugh
Josh
would have ended
McDaniel, I
up
think he would have been
going to the
fine.
Raiders, I don't think there would be a Las Vegas Raiders. I think they would still be in Oakland because he would have had that team so relevant and so successful. That's how much I believe in Jim Harbaugh's coaching methods and coaching ability, bro. Because look at what he did to our Niners. We were
I can agree with that.
shit my entire life.
I can agree with that. But I still think that the only reason you couldn't hire Jim Harbaugh was because Antonio Pierce had won the locker room. Like he had every player like
Yeah,
saying, "Oh, I'll play for him.
yeah.
I want to play for this guy," and that's why they hired him.
And I won't disagree there, but like the one time that the Raiders shouldn't have hired their head coach, or shouldn't have hired the interim head coach, they hired the interim head coach. They should have hired Rich Bisaccia after Rich got the team further than Antonio Pierce did, because Rich Bisaccia had a shorter amount of time and he did much more for the team, making sure that they made the playoffs than Antonio Pierce did. I think.
I don't
Because
know.
Antonio Pierce, they were 2-2. They were 2-2. They were 2-2 when he took over, or they were 2-3 when he took over. They weren't that bad.
No, they weren't. They were really bad.
They were no. They weren't that bad. They were bad. They weren't that bad. They were just disgruntled. They were upset that they were had to play for Josh McDaniels. That's why they were that bad. I like it's like Brandon Staley. What happened when he came out with those comments? Oh, we haven't been blown out. Instantly, the next game, the Raiders dropped 60 on him. I think.
Okay, look, the Raiders were at 5-4 record. Or that was his record as the interim head coach.
What was
Five and
the
four.
hold on? So what week did he take over?
So they were 5-4. So what? That's 9 games. Week what? 8.
In what week did Antonio Pierce become the
Week
Raiders head
8.
coach?
And he finished 5-4. That's not terrible.
When did
Well, let's just say week 8. I mean, he finished 5-4.
October 34th, 31st? What week was that? ESPN.
No, but you know, I think I think next season for him, it's not going to be a good year, just because that conference is stacked.
Dude, they're not. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be good. They're not
That's what
going
I'm
to be
saying.
good.
No, they're not going to be good because the conference is
How long
stacked.
was Antonio Pierce's contract for? They're not going to be good for the next 4 or 5 years.
They need
I
a
hate to say
quarterback.
it,
They need a quarterback.
bro. Do you think Antonio Pierce with Mahomes, Josh Allen with Mahomes, Herbert with Harbaugh now, because it's not Staley, it's Harbaugh, and if the Broncos don't move off of Russell Wilson, they got Sean Payton and Russell
No,
Wilson.
Russ is definitely gone. Russ is not playing for the Broncos again.
If he stays, because there's still reports that there's a shot that he stays with the Broncos. That is still, I still take Sean Payton over fucking Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, but Antonio.
I still
I'm
take
saying,
whatever
look, I'm
quarterback
saying
they
Antonio
bring.
Pierce is not going to have a good season. I'm literally agreeing with you.
No, I understand that, but do you think they're going to be successful in the next 3 to 4 years? Because
I don't know if they're still the
I
court.
don't,
If they have the same head coaches, I don't see it either.
I don't think so. Let's see, 1, 2, 2 wins. They were 3-4 when he took over.
Yeah, and then they finished 5-4. So what? It's not
Uh,
terrible. It's not great either, but
yeah, they weren't. They weren't. But like the whole narrative that they were ass or whatever, like when
they
he
are
took over.
ass.
No, the whole narrative that they were ass when he took over was like that's not true. They were still finding ways to win games. They were just not happy with the way the locker room and the team was being managed.
Yeah, but they're still ass.
But what? But hey, it's the Oakland. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. It's the Raiders, bro. What the fuck do they know about winning?
They're ass.
Like they bring in a GM and a head coach that literally like by all if you really look back at it like they had the team trending in the right direction. It's gonna take time, They gave him like they gave him less than 2 years, and Raiders don't know anything about winning. So
They should
good
have kept
luck,
Carr.
Raiders.
They should have kept Carr, never hired Josh McDaniels, but good luck.
Good luck, Raiders. You're not going to be relevant for the next 4 to
Yeah.
5 years. Moving on to bro. NBA players are booty tickled because the NBA has a new rule where they have to play at least 65 games to qualify for awards for the Supermax, and for awards and the Supermax and all these other things. What are your thoughts?
I think, I hate it. Like I hate the rule in general, but like at the same time, the rule shouldn't be a thing. And here's my thoughts
They
on it. Like,
agreed to it. The
no, no,
NBA
like,
Players
no, no,
Association
no.
agreed to
Listen,
it.
listen, listen. This is why I think it shouldn't even be a thing. I think that,
Actually,
like, I grew up in a time, we both grew up in a
I'll
time.
let you. I'll let you do it.
No, we both grew up in a time where like NBA players were playing consistently because they just had a passion for the game. They
Bro,
understood that it was, for the fans. Like that's where you have
Kobe,
Kobe, MJ,
Shaq.
yeah, Shaq.
We had a busted down Shaq.
D
Shaq didn't want to hang
Wade.
it up.
Look, you had D Wade. You have all these
Ray
players
Allen,
that had, yeah, you have all these players that had played like
fucking
82
Paul
game
Pierce couldn't
seasons.
get on a goddamn court, but he wanted to play.
No, 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 but I'm just saying, look, you had all these players like GP, Gary Payton, who played all 82 games. And like, I just don't understand it. Like, I always talk,
Young
like, even
guys
with
are
my friends,
soft.
I'm like, if you get hurt and it's something small, like, why
Be
not just
real.
keep
Be
playing through it?
real.
I don't understand okay, man, I rolled my ankle, but I feel good. Like, I can run. It's a small little thing. Like, I've rolled my ankle. I'm not an NBA player. I don't play every other day, back to backs or whatever. But I'm just saying, like,
Is our generation soft?
I think they're soft.
They're
I think
pussies.
that their mentality isn't like what it used to be, like, like
Hurry.
they play through it. And LeBron even said it in an interview he just had.
What do you say?
He said, that if you're worried on like just I'm just saying what he basically said. Like if you're worried just on like the materialistic things and not actually like playing the game for the love of the game, then like you're never gonna be good or you're never gonna be great. And
You're
that's what you
never
have to
gonna,
face.
bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I think this is like because I don't think Channing Tatum is gonna be it. I don't see it.
Channing Tatum, who the hell is that?
Oh, Jason Tatum, my bad.
Have you been watching Magic Mike or something?
My bad. I always get the two motherfuckers.
That's crazy.
Jason Tatum, Channing, Jason. It don't matter. Channing Tatum is more successful anyway. I'm, I'm,
That's crazy.
I'm being honest. Channing Tatum is way more successful than Jason Tatum.
Yeesh.
Like I'm just saying. Um,
Yeesh.
but no, like I honestly feel like we've seen that like after LeBron, after maybe Steph, I feel like we've seen maybe after Giannis, because actually that's one of the things I respect about Giannis. He will
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
every fucking game. Giannis, Jokic too, bro. Jokic don't be taking no games off. Embiid, if he wasn't so injury prone, he'd be playing every fucking game.
Yeah.
Like
The
there
thing
are
is,
players
like,
that genuinely
like,
want to play every
yeah,
game.
there are players that are genuinely hurt. And that's
Yeah,
what the rule
like
is like.
Joel's thing, that sucks.
Yeah,
Tyrese's thing, that
that
sucks.
sucks.
That sucks.
Like
Maybe
there are
there
players
should
that are
be
genuinely hurt. So that's why I feel like the 65 games to qualify is kind of
so maybe there should have been a stipulation where if it's a legitimate injury where you're sidelined, like where you're legitimately sidelined because it's a tear, it's whatever where you are like required to be sidelined by the hospital or whatever for a maximum of like 3 weeks or whatever, where it's going to make you only eligible to play 55 games, maybe 60 games. I think up to even 60 games because there's 82 games in a season, bro.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't
my
be
thing
missing
is my
22.
thing is I hate hearing the talk about like, oh, shorten the season
That
because
shouldn't be a thing,
that shouldn't be a thing either because
bro.
all the
Players,
records that were beaten in an 82 game season will never be beat again. If you threw it down to like 62, 72, like those records will never be beat. And you want to see that happen. Like the thing that I hate about the league now is that you see so many high scoring games, which is
nobody
good
plays
because a lot
defense.
of fans like to see it. But like that's what I'm thinking. Like you need to bring defense back. Like in this season alone, you've had two people drop 70, five people drop like 60. So like, and that's what I hate. Like that was incredible. When Kobe dropped 81, breathtaking. But now it's like people.
Hold on, we're having some technical difficulties here. I think we might have fixed our technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. But no, like you were saying, like, bro, I'm just tired. I'm tired, bro. You make millions and millions of dollars, dog. Y'all ain't legitimately injured, and people like us, average Joes who don't like who work 9 to 5s, who gotta like pay bills, who can't afford the luxuries that you guys got, but pay for your salaries because the your guys' salaries are basically getting paid from our viewership, from our attendance to the games, from the merchandising, from all the stuff that we pay for like that's how you guys get paid. You guys understand it's a business, right? Like it's a business. If you guys like, how do you guys make money off us? Like,
No, but I agree. I would agree with you with what you're saying. Like maybe there should be a thing where like if you're legitimately hurt and you can't play, like you broke a
bro,
bone, you
motherfuckers
tear,
were killing themselves
that's
for
fine.
less money back in the day.
Exactly. But like Kobe dislocated his fingers and was
Bro,
still playing.
Kobe
Like
with
he
the
would
torn
get
Achilles, dog.
and he shot the free
Clay,
throws and he shot the free throws. Clay, I mean,
Clay. Like, yo, those motherfuckers are cut from, but like the kids that are coming into the league now, Zion. Yeah, he might be injury prone, but dude has no discipline. Has no discipline.
I mean,
Reckless.
this year you got to give him credit though. He's played, I think, almost every game. So like this year he's
Okay,
been healthy.
wh-
Fine.
what did I say about Lamar? Outlier year. Can he do it consistently?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I
Can he
mean,
stay
that's
out of
really
the
good too.
headlines?
But like, you
Can
got
he
to
stay
give
at
him
the strip
credit though.
club?
You got to give him credit though, because he is doing it so far.
He is right now. We'll give him credit this season. Good job. Good job, Zion.
Yeah,
But
but I agree. I agree. I think there needs to be something where like, okay, if you're legitimately hurt, okay,
also,
it doesn't
what
go
the
against the
fuck are
team culture.
y'all's like? What type of representation do you have where they tell you, yeah, like I'll be real with you, 17 games, like personally, I think that's a reasonable amount of games that y'all should be allowed to miss. How many does 17 games equate to a month, right? You can miss up to a month of the season.
Yeah, probably a little bit more.
I wish
But
I could miss a month of work and still get paid hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars.
no, but my thing is though, like,
No, but like think about
if
it.
it should be just load management. Like you should be allowed maybe like a 12 days, 12 days total of like load management. And then like if you're legitimately hurt, it's something separate. Like, that doesn't go against like the games you played. If you're legitimately hurt.
Well, it should be 10 days of load management.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think,
just saying, I'm just saying
yeah,
like an example.
I actually
Like,
don't even disagree there. Like, let's make load management a real thing in the league where you're allotted 10 days of load management or injury, like minor injury related issues or whatever. But you always got to disclose everything. You can't not disclose it. You have to be transparent. This is also another thing that they have to do. They have to be transparent. And also, what type of representation does the NBA Players Association have? Like, what type of shit is it? Because y'all agreed to this shit before the CBA was agreed to and signed upon. Like, y'all's literally like I get it. We don't all read like the rule, but if it's something that's this important that's going to impact hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe y'all want to read the CBA before you guys agree to it. NBAPA, what the fuck? Maybe read it. Maybe read the little clause where it says, yeah, 65. If y'all got to play a minimum of 65 games to qualify,
I'm sure. No, I'm sure they read it, but like I'm sure
did they
like
not
no,
contemplate it because they're stuck with
but
this
the
shit for three to
majority, no,
five years? I
but
think.
the vast majority is probably what agreed on it. That's what I'm saying. So like I'm sure they read it, but like I'm sure next year they'll probably
I
change
think
it.
their biggest thing was that they should be allowed to smoke weed, and I don't know if that was in this CBA or in the last
No,
CBA.
no. Yeah, that's fine now. But like I'm just saying like I think next year it'll definitely change. This year is probably more like a little bit of a test. But next year it'll definitely change and be different, and you'll see that like, it'll probably be a little bit better.
Let's see.
What does weed have to do with this? I just realized. What the hell?
No, because that was one of the changes that they were pushing for in the CBA. I forget if it was in this CBA or in the last CBA.
How is
But
that important to what the hell we were just talking about?
no, because if the NBA Players Association is pushing so hard for them to be allowed to smoke during the regular season and want that shit put in the fucking CBA, maybe y'all should fucking read and maybe y'all should pay attention to the clause that
No,
says,
well, look, I know that's in the CBA because I know that they reported that like that's in the news, like the media, But I'm just saying, like, I'm just talking about this right now. I'm sure they read it, but the vast majority probably agreed on it. So, like,
7 years, bro. The CBA, they're stuck with this shit for 7 years.
well, never mind. We'll see. I guess how it goes. I don't know. They
Bro,
can
they
make
gotta they
changes. They
gotta
always make
find a
changes.
way to amend it in the
No,
off.
they definitely they always make changes. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know, but the NBA collective bargaining agreement is agreed for 7 years, and usually, bro, unless it's very like it has to be a majority vote. There has to be like a whole process, I believe, for them to be able to petition for this specific thing to change because they're good. They're stuck with this shit for the next 7 years until 2029, 2030, when the CBA is up for renewal after that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, right?
Yeah, no, good luck to them.
Yeah.
Moving on to empowering with positivity, bro. How you doing? How's life? Any positive advice for the viewers?
No, I think I mean I'm good, I was actually just telling my brother, right, that sometimes things happen in life where, you kind of hit with something that you didn't really expect, you know, but you kind of have to pivot, figure out a way to kind of just push through it. And I know last time I probably talked about like discipline and stuff like that. And I kind of just want to push like the topic of, thinking positive, thinking you can do it instead of thinking like negatively. Because as soon as you let those negative thoughts kind of like creep in, you're going to start thinking negatively that you can't do it and run out. And that's not true. So just think positively. Think you can do it. It will happen. Manifest it, whatever it is, whatever you need to do for you to be successful, just do that.
Yeah, like that's something that I live by. Like, just sometimes speaking it into existence helps you build up that self-confidence into actually being able to do it. You sometimes you got to talk yourself into it, and that's totally fine.
Or sometimes you just got to start, like you just got to start. Like, it may not be good at the beginning, but you just got to start, because if you never start it, then you'll never know.
And do it with heart, people. Don't just do it to do it. Do it with some heart. Do it because you want it, like you're passionate about it, because anything that you're passionate about, anything that you do from the heart, you're going to do it tenfold better. You're going to do it. It'll be a beautiful thing. So just remember that. Always do it from the heart. Yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. Stay tuned. Alex is probably going to be back with me at some point next week to preview the Super Bowl. We're going to break down the Niners, Niners Chiefs. Ooh, that's going to be fun. I'm going to do my homework there. Me and my buddy Alex are going to shoot another episode talking about the upcoming Avatar: The Last Airbender project. And yeah, there's also a lot more announcements coming, guys. So stay tuned for all those things. And bro, if you guys are still interested in buying real estate in the state of California, or have any questions about the real estate market in California, reach out to my little brother. He's a real estate agent, one of the best in the area, in my opinion. Super friendly. Reach out to him. Bro, love you.
Definitely not biased. He's not biased at all. Just saying.
Not at all. Bro, I love you. I appreciate you. And we will be back next week, guys. Thank you. And click the like, comment, subscribe button, share, make some money, and stay tuned for more positivity. Later, guys.